Hello everyone. Today we continue our conversation with some grammar. Now this is the first grammar and it is from unit 1.1 in your students books. And something very important to know is that in your students books you actually have all the grammar of the whole unit in one page. So it starts from page 128. If you open there, you see that this is the grammar for unit 1.1. 1.1 here, 1.2 here, 1.3 here. And on the next page, this page is called Language Bank. On the next page, we have the Practice Bank, so to say. And for each grammar explained, there are two exercises usually. Sometimes it is one exercise down here. And the idea is that often after we finish explaining grammar, which generally follows this explanation here, there are exercises to do. Now in this case, the first grammar is going to be this one. It is called the continuous aspect, and this grammar is interestingly explained with a couple of examples. Keep in mind that for every grammar that you are going to study and you are going to receive a video, you should also receive this file called grammar 1.1, which is another file with extra examples prepared by some of our teachers. So now let's have a look first here. Now something known as the continuous aspect or progressive aspect is, for those of you who have never heard of aspects, which is common because aspects are a linguistic term used to talk about the different types of tenses. Now you probably know that in English there are generally three types of tenses. Present tenses, which is the present simple, past simple, the continuous tenses, which are the present continuous, past continuous, and future continuous, and the perfect tenses, present perfect, past perfect, and so on. And of course we can talk about the so-called hybrid tenses, which is like present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and so on. Now when we call something aspect, it encompasses all the different tenses in it, and it involves all the things which make these tenses similar in one way or another, and this is not only the form with ing. So in this case, continuous aspect is also known as progressive aspect, and as they explain here, an aspect is a way we look at something. With verb forms there are three aspects: simple, continuous, and perfect, what I just mentioned. The simple aspect emphasizes that an action is complete, so when you talk about simple tenses, always completed action. The perfect aspect, which we are going to study in unit 4, emphasizes that an action is completed before another time or before another action, and the continuous aspect for today focuses on the action and its duration, how long it lasts rather than the result. And also it is used to show that an activity is temporary and its duration is limited. Another thing that I should mention here is that the continuous aspect also focuses not only on duration but also on repetition, how many times it is repeated. And in contrast to the continuous aspect, we usually use simple tenses to talk about facts or permanent situations, also finished actions and habits. And keep in mind that there are a number of verbs called state verbs or stative verbs, which are not usually used in the continuous. For example, verbs that describe personal feelings, or verbs of preference like love, hate, prefer, and so on. You can remember these from McDonald's motto, which is "I'm loving it," which is technically grammatically wrong, but it attracts attention as a good advertisement. And we can also mention the sense verbs, hear, smell, and thoughts, believe, understand. Or an easy way to remember state verbs is that state verbs are verbs that, well, or actions that we cannot actually see. We cannot touch in a way. Well, touch sounds strange for an action, but we cannot see as an action. We can feel it, but we cannot see it. So, anyways. Now, the examples of the continuous aspect are given here. I strongly recommend reading all of these. However, I have this additional file which follows the same structure, and well, I'm going to go through the file. So, as I mentioned, all tenses in the continuous aspect are used to describe actions which are in duration, still happening, or repetition. So first, we can talk about actions that happen over a period of time, like you have been studying English for many months now, and up to now, and it continues. Present perfect continuous here. We can also talk about actions in progress when another thing happens, or the idea of two actions happening at the same time. We were running when I slipped and fell. So the idea of past continuous and past simple. We can talk about temporary actions, also known as temporal present, временно настояще на български, even though it sounds strange. So I am reading a book about vampires. It's important to mention that I'm not reading the book now while recording this video, but I started recently and I will finish recently. And I should say the name of the book, Twilight, great book. After that, repeated actions. And in this case, if it is used with an adverb of frequency, it shows annoyance. So here they are. She is watching that stupid show again. Okay. She's always threatening me like a princess. Now this always actually shows annoyance with negative connotation. And they're rarely leaving on time, so I have to wait for them. And this one also shows annoyance. After that, we can use the continuous aspect for situations in the process of changing. For example, the weather is turning foul, so you'd better take an umbrella, or it's starting to rain, whatever. We can use it for plans, specifically arrangements in the future, like I am flying to Copenhagen next month. Same as in Bulgarian, летя за Copenhagen. We can use it for tentative ideas, uncertain or delicate ideas. That's the idea of tentative. So for example, I was thinking we can get a cup of coffee together sometime. And this is when we want to distance ourselves from the action. We usually use past tenses. For example, when you want to invite someone on a date, but you are not sure if they are going to accept it, well, I was thinking we can have a cup of coffee. Or I was thinking we can go and watch a movie or something. So this is an interesting use. And also for actions in progress or at a particular time. Or I will be teaching this time tomorrow as well. Now that's pretty much everything about the continuous aspect, and you have some more examples with the same explanations here. I strongly recommend reading these, and well, it would be a good idea to at least have a look at these exercises, though your teacher should give you more details which ones to do and which ones not to do. And that's pretty much everything from me for now, so talk to you later.